Hello everyone, welcome to Level Change channel. My name is Claudio Fonseca. I'm a real 777 pilot, and today we are going to talk about the fixed page on the FMC for the Boeing 777, but you can also use these settings and these features for any Boeing airplane. Okay, so first we go inside our 777, we go to the left seat here, and we are going to pop up the FMC itself, and we are also going to pop up the navigation display so you can follow what is happening. So first thing that I would like to say, this fixed page has a lot of features, a lot of things that you can use, and I will try to show some of them to you. First thing, you can select any fix or type any fix into this page from 1 to 5 letters. For example, if you type C and you put on the fixed page, you are going to see all the database, all the fix that you have with the identification C. For example, you have a C and the B, the frequency is 305, and that's the geographical coordinate for this point. So as you can see, there are 5 pages here. We are page 1 of 5, so you can choose which C you are referring to. Okay, for example, if we go back to fixed page, you can set Mike India Alpha. This Mike India Alpha can be the Maricá VOR close to Rio, the place that we are right now, or it can be for example, the Miami VOR, which is in the southeast of United States. One thing that I would like to highlight to you is that once you select or once you type any fix, for example, like Mike India Alpha, it's going to show you the list based on the distance you are from each of these fix that the FMC has on the database. So usually what you are looking for is the first one, okay? Usually, because that's the one that is closest to you. For example, on this flight we are departing from Rio to London, so if I select Mike India Alpha, it's going to give me the first option as the Maricá VOR, which I can confirm with the frequency and the geographical coordinate as well. If I was departing from Miami, most probably the Miami VOR will be the first one on the list, because this list is generated at the time you press the information from the closest to the furthest one. Okay. Another thing I would like to highlight is that if you, instead of type, if you select something from the legs page, for example, if I select Fox Lima Zulu, which is on my legs page today because we are going to fly over Fox Lima Zulu over Fortaleza VOR. So if you select it from here and then you put on the fixed page, even though there is more than one Fox Lima Zulu in the world, it already recognizes that is the Fox Lima Zulu that is in your legs page. Okay, so you cannot select a different one. If it's your leg page like Fox Lima Zulu, it will show you the exact one that is on your route. So anytime you select a fixed page, first thing that it does, it highlights on the navigation display. So what I'm going to do now, I go to the legs page and I'm going to select the second point here, which is called Ferma. So I select Ferma, I go back to fixed page, and then I put on top of Fox Lima Zulu, or I could use another fix. So in this case, I'm just going to replace Fox Lima Zulu by Ferma. So as you can see here, now we have highlighted Ferma. Okay, I'm going to go closer. So as you can see, we have Ferma highlighted here. So it's going to write in blue, in cyan, right? And you will have this circle around the fix. I will do the same thing over Lomor, so you can see the same thing. So legs, I select Lomor, I go to fixed page. At this time I'm going to put on the second page, and I'm going to add Lomor. So now you can see that Lomor is also highlighted. Of course, if I put one on top of each other, it erases the first one. Once you have any fix on your fixed page, first thing that you are going to see is your bearing from this fix, this VOR or this NDB, whatever is in the database. So right now we are on the bearing 216 from Ferma, and the distance from Ferma is 37 miles. If I go to the next page, now we have position Lomor, is the same bearing because it's along the route that we are following right now. We are on a direct route to Ferma and then Lomor, and our distance right now to Lomor is 67 miles. Now in this case 66. Okay, so you will always have the bearing and the distance, even though the fix is not on your route itself. For example, if you see this Tango Foxtrot Oscar, this VOR is not on our route. If we select Tango Foxtrot Oscar, okay, I will put in on top of Ferma. So I'm changing Ferma by Tango Foxtrot Oscar. Okay, it says that we are on the bearing 245 and right now 20 miles. Of course, as we move along, the bearing is going to change because we are not going direct to this fix at this time, and the distance also changes as we are approaching now Tango Foxtrot Oscar. Okay, so first thing that you can use this fixed page is to highlight a specific point along the route. For example, let's say I'm going to erase all of these, the first and the second. Let's say that the ATC asks you to call him over position multiple. So you select multiple, you go to the fixed page and you add it as a fix. So now you have a highlight over the multiple that will remind you to call ATC. Or at position multiple, you agree that with the other pilot that you need to take weather information for a certain airport, or that you need to contact the company for a certain reason. So it will highlight on the navigation display as well, so you will remember to do something. Okay. Another thing that we can do, for example, from a VOR, let's put again Tango Foxtrot Oscar, which is close by here on our right side. Okay, and let's say that I want to know when I'm going to be north of Tango Foxtrot Oscar. So after selecting Tango Foxtrot Oscar, I can select 360 as bearing. Okay, just 360 or 360 slash, both they are the same, and I can add on the second, third or fourth line, and it's going to create one bearing from the fix on the bearing 360. So this is the 360 bearing from TFO. Okay, so first you have a visual display of the bearing, so you will know visually when you are north of Tango Foxtrot Oscar. The second thing, if you just add the bearing, it will automatically add the distance that you are going to cross that bearing, in this case 16 miles. Then to the right you will have your estimate time of arrival on this bearing on this distance, which is 1517. Right now we have 151630, so in less than a minute we are going to be there. Okay, the next one, okay, we have the distance to go. Okay, so we are going to be 16 miles from Tango Foxtrot Oscar, and right now we have 5.3 miles to reach the point that we create, and the predicted altitude that we are going to cross this bearing as well. So we are level at 330, and that's the predicted altitude that we are going to cross. Okay, so as you are going to see, the distance is going to go down until you cross the fix, and then you don't have the information anymore because you already cross that bearing. That happens as well if you set an invalid bearing or a bearing that you already crossed. Okay, so now it's going only to show the distance, how far now you are from that point. So you already crossed that bearing 0.9 miles. We can also change. I'm going to give you another example. Let's say the bearing 015, and this time I'm going to use a slash to show you that with or without slash it works. Okay, so now we create the second bearing, the bearing 015. We are going to cross it 27 miles from Tango Foxtrot Oscar at 1518, and we have 6.2 miles to go to this place. We are also expecting to cross at flight level 330 with no change. Okay, so this is the first information that we can have for bearing from a fix. Another thing you can do, you can select a distance. Okay, so right now we are 24 miles, so I want to know when I'm 30 miles from this fix. So I select /30, and in this case, when you want the distance, you have to start with the slash, and then you select. It will create a circle around the fix with that distance. Okay, so in this case, a 30-mile circle around Tango Foxtrot Oscar, and it will also give you the same information: your estimate time of arrival at the line, the distance to go, in this case 1.5 mile, and the predicted altitude. Okay, also note, I'm going to create another one, for example /40, which is 40 miles. Also notice that once you select only the distance, it will give you the bearing that you are going to reach that distance, in this case 0 to 2. So on the bearing 0 to 2, you will cross this 40 miles distance from the Tango Foxtrot Oscar. The time is 1520. We still have 7.4 miles to go, and predicted altitude is 330 still. Okay, another thing that we can do, and now to show you, I'm going to select a different fix. For example, we are going to select this one, Yankee Lima Hotel. So Yankee Lima Hotel instead of TFO. And now, as you can see, Yankee Lima Hotel is not on our route, so we have the option to select the Yankee Lima Hotel NDB with this frequency at this coordinate, and the Yankee Lima Hotel DME with this frequency and this coordinate. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to select the second one, which is the VOR. So I selected the second one, and as you can see, already highlights the position that we selected. Just in case, I'm going to select Yankee Lima Hotel again, and I'm going to select the first one. As you can see, this is going to be at the same position, pretty much the same position. Okay, is slightly to the north, because this is the NDB itself. Okay, so then it creates the NDB there. Okay, so it doesn't matter, they are pretty much at the same position. So this is the Ilhéus NDB in the coast of Brazil, and we are right now on the bearing 249, 198 miles. I'm going to select here 194. Oh, sorry, I have to select first /194, or in this case 193 miles, to create an circle around Yankee Lima Hotel. So On the bearing 250, we are going to cross 193 miles at 1522 Zulu. The distance to go is 3 miles and flight level 330. The same thing as you had it before. The only thing at this time, we are going to cross the distance to inside the circle. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it happens. As we are outside, it will show you the distance to go to enter the circle, and then it's going to give you the distance that you are away from that point. Right now we are already 1.3 miles away from that point. But as you can see on the navigation display, there is another point that we are going to cross 193 miles, because now we are inside the 193 mile circle and we are going to cross 193 miles to go outside the circle as well. So if you put again /193, okay, when you are inside the circle, okay, it's going to, sorry, before doing this you have to delete the first one, but then you put /193, and as you are inside the circle now, it's going to give you the distance to get out of the circle. Okay, it needs a couple of seconds, so we are doing it again. 193 is still showing the bearing 250. This is a glitch on the PMDG. So Yankee Lima Hotel again. Okay, we select the NDB and /193. Still showing the same bearing. We need the bearing to the north at 193 miles. Let me just try 200 miles because maybe we are too close. Okay, so we select 200 miles, it work. Now we try 195. Yeah, we are too close for this. Sorry, I select the bearing instead of the distance, so it's /198. Yeah, it still show me the 290. So we need a certain distance on the PMDG. But for example, if we select 200 miles around Yankee Lima Hotel, it already shows you that we'll be on the bearing 002, 200 miles, and now the estimate to this point, okay, this point on the top of the circle, 303 miles to go, and the predicted altitude is flight level 330. Okay, so once you are outside the circle, it will give you the bearing, the time, the distance to go, and the altitude to reach the circle. Once you are inside the circle, it will give you the bearing, the time, the distance to go, and the altitude to leave the circle itself. Okay, we can also set 002 as this bearing, with or without slash, and then it is going to create a line that just to confirm that we are going to cross the 200 miles on that specific bearing. Okay, I'm going to try 193 again because it should give us the exact information. Yeah, now it shows, as you can see, 193 miles on the bearing 001 at 1601, 286 miles to go, and flight level 330. Okay, in the PMDG you need to cross inside the circle a couple of miles before having this information correctly displayed. But as you can see, it works. So we did 193 miles before the circle. It shows us the information to reach the circle, and now when we are inside 193 again, the information to leave the circle. Why we use this? Because we can select a certain distance from some specific airports. Okay, I'm going to erase these, and we departed from SVGL. Okay, Galeão International Airport. We are at 400 miles on the bearing 039. Usually for ETOPS calculations, the 777 computes 1 hour of flight single engine in 434 miles. So we can set /434 and create a circle around Rio. As you can see, there is this circle around Rio, and that means that when we are reaching this circle, we are most probably 1 hour away single engine from Rio. Why I say most probably? Because this distance, 434 miles, it's considering still air. Okay, so no wind. Of course, on your daily operation, you have to adapt this to the current winds. Okay, another thing that we can do, and to show the distance for you, let's say on the next page I put the next airport that I have around SBSV, Salvador, and then I can also create the same circle, 434 miles, and it's going to create now this circle around Salvador here. So right now we know we are within 1 hour from Rio. We are also within 1 hour from Salvador. Okay, so what about Fortaleza? Sierra Bravo Foxtrot Zulu. I can put on the next page, on the next fix. This is a VOR that we are going to cross over. Okay, and I'm going to select for the distance we need /434, and this is the circle that we are going to be inside 1 hour from Fortaleza. So you can create the circles to check your distance and to have visual confirmation when you are inside this area. Okay, of course we have more airports, we have more VORs around. Okay, so it's just for you to have a graphic information. Let's say that I'm going to erase these 3 fixes again just to clean our screen, and I'm going to select here SVD as the Salvador VOR. Again, I need to select which one. Usually is the first one. I can confirm because it's in the southern hemisphere, the other one is in the north hemisphere. Also the frequency for Salvador is 116.5. When I select, it already highlights Salvador. Okay, and let's say ATC ask me to tell him when I'm west of Salvador VOR. West means bearing 270. Again, I select 270, then with or without the slash after, and it creates that bearing again 270 from Salvador. So when I cross that line, I can tell ATC that I'm west of Salvador. Okay, another thing that we can do, instead of defining which bearing we are going to cross, okay, I'm going to delete this, and I can also report to ATC if he asks the A-beam. So that means when we are going to cross Salvador at the closest place from me, when Salvador will be exactly on my side, in this case on the right side. So I have the prompt here, A-beam. So when I press A-beam, okay, it's going to tell me the bearing and the distance that I will be A-beam Salvador VOR in this case. So it will be on the bearing 306 from Salvador and 127 miles. And I'm expecting to arrive there at 1556. That means I still have 206 miles to go to this point here, and predicted altitude there is flight level 330. So you also have the A-beam prompt, and you can also use this a-bin prompt after you select to copy this information. Okay, once you select, it is going to create the Salvador 306, in this case 305.5 at 127 miles or 126.9, and you can use this information to put on the legs page. Okay, so of course we have to sequence at the right place after evlug. Okay, after evlug before nitsa, so between evlug and nitsa, so I put just after evlug on top of nitsa, and then I can reselect nitsa after svd 01, which is the name that this point was created. So if I change here to plan and I go to the center fix, now I create svd01, which is my a-bin point from Salvador. Okay, if we go to the map mode again and I create the a-bin, svd, this is the VOR. It says invalid entry because now we create that point just on a-bin of Salvador. On real life, it all creates this a-bin even though we have a fix there, okay, as it did at the first time. Okay, so just to confirm that that is the place, a-bin, that's the place that we are from Salvador. This information about invalid entry is something that is going to show when you already pass the a-bin or you will never cross the a-bin from that fix. For example, we have Maricá, that VOR I told you in the beginning of the video, on the Rio area. So I select Mike India Alpha, I select that VOR to the south. I'm going to show you right now. It's far away. Let's use this Victor Romeo India, which is Victoria, Victor Romeo India. Okay, now it highlights Victor Romeo India and I want to know the a-bin. It says invalid entry because I'm not going to cross a-bin Victor Romeo India. I already passed Victor Romeo India. Okay, so this information is going to show as invalid entry because you don't have an a-bin from Victor Romeo India. Okay, that's why it gives us sometimes the invalid entry. Okay, but anything that we have ahead, for example, Alpha Romeo uniform, as you can see, it's going to highlight Alpha Romeo uniform, which is here. Okay, and if I select a-bin, it will again show me it's going to be on the bearing 308, 171 miles from Alpha Romeo uniform VOR. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to show you today, and I have to show the flight plan for this flight itself. This is the one. Okay, so instead of fixed names, VOR names, ZNDB names, you can also select geographical coordinates. Like for example, the entry point for ETOPS flight on this flight. So you can add north 0328.9, west 03711.6, and this is going to create a fix at this geographical coordinate, so you have a visual indication where your ETOPS entry point is. Okay, so I'm going to take this out now and I'm going to create that point. So the point is north 0328.9, the same one I showed you, and west 03711.6, 03711.6. So this is going to create a fixed page at a fix at this position. Okay, so to show you this fix, I'm going to plan. Okay, and I'm going on legs page step by step. So I'm going to move the map until we see that fix. Okay, so now you can see that we have that fix created. We just lose the fix. Yeah, it should be here. Again, let's go step by step until we see the fix. It is right here, so we are going to, so as you can see now is after vamos. Okay, after vamos we have the fix then at north 03 west 037. So this is our entry point for today. So you have how to see it visually. You can also, as we did with being from Salvador before, you can select the fix if you want, and now you have to sequence on your flight plan at the correct place, so between vamos and just after vamos. Okay, usually we don't do it in real life. We don't add any point to our route, but if you want to, after vamos you select the fix, then it's going from vamos to the fix you created, and then you have to continue to motivo. Okay, so now we execute, and if we go back later on to map, we are going to have this fix as our ETOPS entry point. Okay, and once we add this fix, okay, if we are out of plan, we can select route data, and now on the legs page we have the time that we are going to cross that fix, 1800 Zulu, with 69.1 tons of fuel. Okay, so here it shows the bearing and the distance that we are right now. If we go to the legs page after entering the fix, we can also check for the time, and we can also check for the fuel at this position. Okay, so this concludes our information about the fix page for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also share this video with your friends. Okay, thank you so much guys. See you next time. Bye bye.